Hello, everybody. I just wanted to go live and say that my thoughts and prayers are with the truth. I was just in her live. She was live doing a panel, well, just talking, and she got a phone call that her little sister's significant other passed away and that her little sister found him on the couch, deceased. So she had to get off her live. So I wanted to go live and send my prayers and thoughts to her and her family. That's a horrible phone call to get. I can only imagine what her sister's going through. My heart breaks for her. For some reason, I can't see. Oh, here you guys are. Hi, Carla, Dr. Tawanda, Remy, Easy, Puss in Boots. But yeah, I had a live scheduled and then I canceled it. Hi, Tally Girl. Yes. So if everybody could have the truth in her family and your thoughts today, I'm sure she will be grateful for that. It's just a horrible phone call to get when you're live. I don't know how far apart her and her sister live, but it's just heartbreaking. I had a live scheduled for today and I canceled it because I'm in a funk today, guys. You guys always have those days. Hold on. I gotta. Hey, Florida Keys. The truth was live just a few minutes ago, and she got a phone call and had to end her live because her little sister found her partner, significant other, husband, passed away on the couch. So I just wanted to go live and let her know that my thoughts and my prayers with her. And then I was talking about my husband's behind me and he started watching videos and I'm like, you can't watch those. Not while I'm live. So I had to mute. But I was planning on going live today and then I changed my mind because I'm just in a funk. I'm sure all of you get in that way. And I just can't shake it. I've tried all day to try to shake it and I just can't. It's tough. It's tough. You know, that's when you let everything get to you and you stress about everything, things you can't change, things that you wish you could change and you can't. It's like one of those funks where just everything just piles up on you at once. Sometimes taking a walk helps. Yes, definitely, Remy. That's usually what I do when I'm in those funks. I take my dogs and I go into the woods, but I don't even have the motivation to do that. Like it was so funny. I was fine yesterday. Um and I just woke up and it hit me. And that's what you get when you have, I don't want to say mental health issues because, people take that like you're crazy, which I'm not, but, I am bipolar and I do have those moments. And then with the way the world is today, I beat myself up because, you know, I want to be working and I can't work due to my health issues. I feel bad. My husband is working his ass off. He's working 50, 60 hours a week. I don't see him much. It's just a lot. So hey, CCK. So I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer, yeah, so to speak. So I decided to cancel my live. But at the same time, I was thinking why the truth was live is, this is what my platform's for the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, I can't always go live with just rainbows and sunshine. I love you too, Serendipity. You know, I it would be great to be able to go live, but that's what my panel's for, is for you guys to get to know who I am and the struggles that I go through. And I didn't want to come on because I didn't want to bring everybody else down, but I was thinking why Truth was live that sometimes it's good just to talk about things. Even though you can't solve them, it's still good to talk about it. So I figured I'd go live and talk to you guys about it because I'm sure a lot of you can relate. I'm sure there's more in here that can relate more than not. Thank you, Remy. And it's not like, it's just, with the pandemic going on, you can't get out, you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. Hey, Charlie girls, everything's okay. I'm just in a funk. You're human with real human emotions. It's definitely healthy to talk. Yeah, definitely. Hey, Amanda Lynn. And, you worry, like, part of me was like, oh, do I really want to go live and talk about it? Because if I talk about it, it can be used against me in some evil, childish way. And then I thought, you know what? I shouldn't stop myself from being me. I shouldn't stop myself from talking about real life stuff just because somebody that doesn't care for me might use it against me. That's not fair to me, and that's not fair to the people that enjoy my channel. So, and like I said, I wanted to send my prayers out to the Truth for sure. You have horrible anxiety. Oh, it's okay, Amanda Lynn. Thank you for saying sorry, but it is what it is. And anxiety does stink. My daughter suffers it horribly, horribly. I didn't think anybody could have anxiety that bad, and my heart breaks for her. She has anxiety all the time, 24 hours a day. That's where you're wrong, Jenna. It is fair. You're right. Let's see. Hey, Angel Pepper. You don't watch anybody for rainbows and sunshines. To me, that is acting. You be you. We all have these feelings. Absolutely. Yes, we do. And it seems like it doesn't get talked about a lot on here, and I understand why. YouTube is a crazy place, and people open up and it gets used against you, but I'm just not going to let that deter me. I have bipolar. I have moments. I have my struggles. I was a woman that was a CNA and worked my ass off, and then I got hurt and I ended up with back surgery and 3 neck surgeries, and I should have my hips done because of my back surgery, but I've pushed it off for so long, and because of those things it stopped me from working. And then I get that guilt feeling, even though my husband would never make me feel bad. I feel bad, if that makes sense. Like, my husband would never sit there and say, I work all the time and you get to sit home. My husband would never, ever do that. My husband is a very supportive man. I'm blessed to have him in my life. But I feel bad, because he comes home and he's exhausted and he doesn't get to spend time with the family like he wants to. And I feel like if I could work and help, that I could take the load off of him. And it's just a struggle, being 42 years old and feeling like you have an 80-year-old body and things that I enjoy doing, I can't do anymore. Or if I do them, if I push myself, I hurt for days later because I'm stubborn and I don't want to miss out. It's kind of crazy. Absolutely, CCK. It does bring people together when you show your vulnerability. But yeah, like I said, it's just everything, and you worry if everything's going to be okay and everything's going to work out in the end. So when you get in this funk, you think about all the unknowns and the what ifs and the worries, and it's like, can't I just have a bad day without everything piling up? But it's like, once I have a bad day or I have a bipolar moment, everything becomes an issue. I overthink everything. Things that I usually could just deal with and push aside and go on, it seems like when I'm down, my brain wants to just pile it all onto me. Like I think about my kids and it's crazy, and it's like, brain, can you just stop? I already feel crappy enough. Do you have to add everything on top of it? But that's how it works sometimes. And usually when I get this way, like, I'm really shocked that I'm live, to be honest with you. I'm really shocked that I'm live, and I'm really shocked that I'm talking about this, because I'm the type of person that everybody thinks everything is okay. That everything, I can just let everything roll off my back and nothing ever bothers me, because when I get like this, I shut everybody out, and then I just say, "Oh, I didn't feel good that day. Hey, Lisa, I didn't feel good that day," or "Oh, I was under the weather." And so when I come back, I'm perfectly fine. I'm just normal Jenna Moon. And I even do that in my home life. Like when I'm in these moods, I even separate from my husband and all them, because I don't want to push my negativity onto them. But my children and my husband have learned over the years what that means. Jenna needs Jenna time. So they kind of leave me alone. But it's definitely, I feel vulnerable right now. I feel weird, because I usually don't let people see this side of me. I'm always the strong one. I'm always the one that can deal with everything. I'm mom. And I'm sure you all can relate to that. We're all moms, We're moms. We can get through anything, and we can deal with anything, you know? And I'm sure you guys can all relate to that. I'm sure many people, more than you think, can relate. Jenna, thank you for sharing. We are here for you. Thank you, Charlie girl. Always the one with the weight on your shoulders. Never let anyone know. Absolutely. I feel like that's like the mom thing to do. The mom thing to do is to take everybody else's stuff and be a rock star and rock it, you know? And we don't need help and we don't need any of that. We're good, you know? But sometimes it's not always like that. And you don't even have to have a mental illness. You know, you don't have to have bipolar or depression, you know? Y- Yes, I totally relate. I'm mom, and sometimes I just need to be Amanda. Perfectly said, Amanda Lynn. That's exactly how I feel. Yep. At 42, it's hard because not many people understand your pain. As you get older, more people will go through the same. People don't know until they experience it. Absolutely, Moonchild. You know, and I just beat myself up. Why me? Why do I have bipolar? Why did I have to get hurt at work? Why why do I have to live in pain every day? Why, I love my children, but why did I have to have an autistic child? Not meaning that in a bad way. So don't take it like that, Like today, my son is having a really hard day today. So maybe that adds to, because he can instantly set me into a mood because my heart just breaks for him. You know, his sister is gone. His sister's out hanging with friends and stuff, and he's home and he's alone and he doesn't have a friend. So my heart breaks for him, because he's a 20-year-old boy, man. I always will see him as a boy, but a 20-year-old man that doesn't want to hang out with mom and dad. He wants to be liked. He wants to have friends, but he doesn't know how to. He doesn't, he has, he just doesn't know how to get there. And I can't help him. Like, I try to talk to him and I can talk to him, but he looks at me like, Mom, you just don't understand. Or, Mom, you're 40, I'm 20. You don't get it, because he is a typical 20-year-old. So he's kind of like, Ma, you don't get it. And I just wish I could fix it. Why can't I fix it? Why can't I fix it for him? I would love to have 20 people here right now that would absolutely love my son and want to hang out with him just to see him smile. Because that's what moms want to do. We always want to fix it. And I can't fix it. Jenna, let me tell you, the boys are here and they are having a bad day mood wise. I hide in my room to take a break. Yeah, you have to. Helen, she was live tonight just right before I went live. And we were having a good stream. We were talking about all kinds of things, and then she got a phone call, and her little sister, husband, boyfriend, significant other, um, she came home and found him passed away on the couch. So I just want people to keep her and her family in our thoughts. My son dreams is to go to the Navy, and they told him no because of his autism, and that's the hardest thing as a mom, was to see his heart break over that. Sarah, I absolutely understand that. And it's sad because Just because he has autism doesn't mean he can't do what other people can do. And that's what also drives me crazy. Just because they're autistic doesn't mean they're incapable. It just means that it might take them a little longer, or you might have to show them a couple more times. But that doesn't mean that they can't fight for their country or they can't do what everybody else does. And that's why I kind of fight with that label, because it feels to me like a label. And it doesn't have to feel like that for everybody, but to me, it's like wearing a dunce hat. And it doesn't need to be that way. Autistic children are especially high functioning. Um, they're very, very smart, and they can articulate very, well. It just might take them a minute. But that doesn't mean they shouldn't be able to do what somebody else does. And I feel that way about all kinds. I've always had a soft spot for the underdog or the handicapped or anything like that, because I feel like just because they're in a wheelchair, just because they're autistic, just because they have one leg or one arm, doesn't mean they can't do what everybody else is doing. It's so sad. I hate it. It's so hard not to look at what other kids do and compare what my other one can't do. It's heartbreaking. It is. It's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And I worry. I worry. I mean, I've always taught my stepson and my daughter, I've always said, please promise me. And not that I should put that on them, but I always said, if anything ever happens to me and dad, you need to make sure your brother is always taken care of and he's always okay. And that you make sure he's good. And of course they would, but I just worry, He wants to be able to have a job. He wants to work so bad, but he can't he can, but he takes longer. And we were working with a group where he could get a job, and it's a company that basically gives them options of a bunch of jobs, and this company subs to all these other companies where there's a little rule bending. So my son could go in and work for like a week or two, and if it wasn't a job for him, it was okay. Like, he could move on and it wouldn't penalize him. And when he starts the job, there's a person that stays with him. So it doesn't take away from the business, but they get to help him a little bit more. Kind of like a big brother or whatever. They get to stay with him and help him until he gets it. And he was so excited about it. And I was so proud of him because he goes to counseling because of his anxiety and all this stuff. And he heard about this program through his counselor, and he did this all on his own. He contacted them. He filled out the paperwork. He made the appointment to sit down with them. And he was so happy and so proud of himself. And then the pandemic hit. And now he can't do it, And everybody, the people that don't have autistic children, they don't understand. But that is enough to upset him. He gets there's a pandemic. He gets that he can't go. But to him, it's like he's failing, or like he's never going to have that chance again. And I can explain it to him 20 times that, "Don't worry, bud, after this, everything will work out. You'll be able to go back to work, you'll get to do this." I could say it until I'm blue in the face, but he's dead set that it's ruined. And no matter what I say, I can't get him to understand it. I feel like I'm a blubbering mess, guys. I'm sorry. I hope I'm making sense. I just kind of have thousands of things running in my mind, and I'm trying to blurt it all out without blurting everything out, trying to have a line. It's hard. So I hope I'm making sense. But I thank you guys for all being in here and just listening and understanding. It means a lot. It really does. There's not enough resources. There is not, Amanda Lynn. There is not enough resources. Absolutely not. There's not a lot of things I wish there was more. And I say that all the time, especially where I live. I live in a very small town. Hold on, I got a dirt bike coming down the road. I got to mute for a second. Oh, they decided to go the other way. I live in a very small town, and there's not much for kids to do, period. Like, they have a roller skating rink. That's it. Really, there is nothing for kids to do in this town. So for kids with disabilities, it's even harder. And I yell from the rooftops, I wish there was more resources. And there is, like, I call, and there is, but they're in the city. So I got to drive. If I want my son to participate, I have to drive 2 hours, an hour, 2.5 hours. Like, I mean, of course, no distance would stop me from helping my son, but at the same time, there is kind of a line, if you guys understand what I'm saying. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my son, but traveling that far to get him into something where he feels like, with a group of kids, to go do something, or kids that are like him and understand him. It just, they send a bus, provide door to door. Not here. And right now, definitely not. Right now, they're kind of, because it's so far, the city, they only do so far. Because that was another thing I checked into. And because it's all the way in the city, like in Boston, and they won't do it. Socialization is, definitely. That's great. My child in Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky, there are a few, but not a lot. Yeah. Yep. I wish we were closer to serendipity. I really do. I could help you paint and the boys could hang out. But yeah, and like I said, I know this is just a bump in the road, and this is just par for the course of my bipolar. And I know today or tomorrow I'll be fine. But today just stinks. And I just wish I could just stop my mind, stop thinking of all the bills, my husband, my children, my health issues, my this, my that. I just wish I could just shut it off and just worry about what's in front of me and stop trying to think of things that I'm trying to project ahead. And I can't do the what ifs and what if this happens and what if that happens and oh my God, is this gonna happen? You know? And I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I I'm not good enough sometimes. Not in a depression way. Just that I'm not good enough. Like, I just wish I could show my husband more appreciation for all he does. And I know he knows that, and I know he knows that I appreciate everything he does. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes I snip or snap, and I don't know. I love you too, Leo's wife. And I swore I would never come on panel and be emotional. I swore I would never do that. Well, I guess it is what it is. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not shy about it. I'm actually glad that I did this. And I'm glad that I have you guys to talk about it with because it makes me feel a little better to know that I'm not alone and that other people go through it too. And I'm not the only, the only hot mess. The only hot mess. You got this, Jenna. It's all gonna be okay. It takes a special mom to be a mama of an autistic child, and I'm sure Hubs knows. Being a sham and a wife is hard. Yeah. Thank you, Amanda Lynn. That means a lot. My husband tells me all the time by the end of the weekend he could not do it. Yeah, definitely. My husband says it too. Like, I really try to make it so my husband doesn't have to worry about anything else. And I hate when he worries, because it just adds more stress to me. So I try to do everything so he doesn't worry, or he doesn't stress. Because I don't want him to. He works enough and I don't want him to stress and I don't want him to worry. So I try to make it all better and I try to, you know, pull things out my butt to figure it out because I don't want my husband to stress. Staying home is hard work. To me, going to work and having extra money was the easier thing to do. I had to be home for my son who needed occupational therapy. Yeah, good, Jenna. Often just talking about it is a huge help. Part of what makes AA so successful. Absolutely. You're respected, Jenna. We all go through it sometimes. And venting is so healthy instead of suppressing it. It is. And this is a new norm for me because I've done years and years of suppressing it. I would try counseling and let's face it, I would tell the counselor what they would want to hear and not really what I should have been saying or being real. And the last couple of years, like year or two, I've been really trying to open up and be honest because it's hard. It's hard to, I have a hard time showing people my weaknesses. I just do. And I don't want to burden anyone. That's another tough one for me. I'm better at listening and wanting to fix everybody else. Like, I've always had such a big heart and I'm a fixer. So I could sit here and listen to somebody else's issues for hours and hours and I could give the best advice ever. but I can't give myself my own advice. And when they would sit there and go, "Okay, it's your turn now. What are your problems?" I'm like, "None. I'm fine." Like I didn't want people to have to worry, or I didn't want people to, I don't know. I didn't want people to know. I'm I'm me, I can do it all. I'm fine. I'll get through it. I'll be happy, like I have to go rearrange my living room. Hugs, Jenna, hang in there. My inbox is open, always open, girl. Thank you, Amanda Lynn. Oh, thank you, polyester jumper. Thanks for doing this live, Jenna. I needed this y'all right now. Oh, I'm glad, Magic Mirror. Hey, Mojo. Oh, happy birthday to your son. I'll see you tonight, Amanda Lynn, on Jenny Jen's. Enjoy rearranging your living room, and I'll definitely see you guys tonight. I think you're going live at 9, right? Jenna, nothing wrong with asking for help. It's not really asking for help, it's just letting you in, if that makes sense. I have a hard time letting people in. I always have. I think that's one of my things that I need to work on. I have a hard time, like, I can give you some of me, I can give you the good parts of Jenna. But for me to truly open up is hard for me. I have that wall, that protective wall. Maybe because I've been hurt for so long, so many times in my life, and going through domestic violence and all that, I've just learned to protect myself. So I put up that wall, and my husband always tells me I need to start breaking down that wall, and I need to start, people care about you and people love you, and they're going to be here for you no matter what. And I feel like I don't want them to use my weaknesses against me, and I don't want them to run away because I have too much bullshit on my plate, and I just piled it all on this person, so they run away. Jenna, I get you. It's hard, but you have a wonderful aura and oh, thank you, Mojo. Hold on, my dog wants out. Sorry. Come on. Go lay down. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody else is like that, where you don't you don't give all of you, even though you love that person, you love your friend, you would do anything for your friend, you feel very close to your friend, but you don't show them everything. You keep that protective wall up. I mean, when I got with my husband, it took me a long time to let my wall down for him. As crazy as that sounds, it took me a long time. And I still have, I mean, I've gotten better over the years. Um, I have friends on here that I've become really, really close to, and I know I can tell them anything and they won't judge me. But it's so hard to tell sometimes. Like about a month ago, I was going through something personal. I was struggling and I had such a hard time opening up, but they helped me more than by opening up. Hold on. Sorry, had a jogger going by, and the dogs have to freak out because they think they own the road, the yard, and everything in between. You are breaking down that wall as you speak. It gets easier, believe me. Ah, thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying. It's taken me 30 years or more, but I'm working on breaking down those walls. I mean, it was even hard for me to say, "Hey guys, I'm just having one of those days breaking the silence. I'm okay. I'll be all right." It's just, I even had a hard time saying to them, "Hey, I am bipolar and I am going to have my moments and I'm going to disappear. And when I don't answer you, or if I am not around, please don't take it offensively," because people used to. Because I can go 2, 3 days where I just don't feel like talking and I don't feel like interacting, but they're sitting there worried about me. They're worried because they haven't heard from me in 3 days. And when I'm in that mood, it's as hard as it is at that moment, I'm not thinking of them. So it's not that I don't care. I do, but at that moment I don't. It's like I'm so in my own feelings that, and I've been working on that. I'll disappear for a day or two, and a couple of girls will message me and they'll be like, "Are you okay?" And as hard as it is to text back and say, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just having a day," as hard as it is, because I don't even want to. I don't I don't care. It's hard to say I don't care because I don't want people to act like I don't care about them, but at that moment, I don't care. But I've been doing it. Even if it's a line or two, I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just in my in my in my head, in my whatever." And they're like, "Okay, that's fine. I just need to know you are okay." Where before, probably a year ago, you could blow up my phone for days and days and days, and I just hit ignore. I just hit ignore because I don't wanna talk. I don't wanna talk about my feelings. I don't wanna tell you why I'm not talking. I don't wanna tell you what my problems are, but I'm working on it. I have felt exactly what you are feeling my entire life. I have recently found a solid therapist. Therapy has been vitally important. Yeah, um, I definitely I've been in counseling. Come on, make sure you behave yourself. Come on, you coming. No, you need to behave or you're going back in. I have done counseling off and on all my life. That's another thing that I struggle with. I am the type of person that will start something and I'll start it and I'll be 100% and excited for it and want to do it. And then all of a sudden, I lose interest. I lose the oomph to do it. And I just give up. And that's how I am with counseling. I'll wake up one day and I'm like, "I need a therapist. I'm done feeling this way. I need to be able to release. I need to go." And I'll go to counseling and I'll start and I'll go every week and I'll, do everything that I have to do. And then all of a sudden I stop. It's like they get to a point with me. I mean, I'll be brutally honest with you guys. It seems to me like I'm okay talking about certain things, and then, you get into part of your therapy and you get down to the nitty-gritty, the stuff that actually be makes you find why you're really here, and I run. I run to the high hills. I'm done. Like, I can tell you about my family tree. I can tell you, oh, I'm irritated today. My bills are piling up. I can tell you all that. But then you get to the nitty gritty and I run. And I got to stop doing that. And I know I do because they say once you get past that, that's when it really starts to work and you really see a change. And I can't get there yet. And I'm, 42 years old and I still fight with that my entire life too. I have no self-discipline to go to therapy. How did you force yourself to go? Ah, I'm still struggling with that, breaking the silence. Maybe polyester jumpers can give us some pointers because I'm still struggling with that. My head will convince me everyone is mad at me and I can be a mess sometimes. Totally can relate, serendipity. Totally relate. Jenna, you don't need a therapist to get to the little girl who hurts, the root of the issue. Maybe I don't. The jogger is back. Are you done? No, you're not done yet. Stop. I gotta wait for him to get past the tree line, and then he can't see him. All right, I think he's calm. All right, go lay down. Yes, thank you for protecting the house. Even though he was just a jogger. We are all premenopausal, hormonal, kind of crazy. Most of us are middle aged. That was one of the things that my mom actually mentioned. And she said that you can go and get a test from the doctors to find out if you're premenopausal. Because one day, my mom came to my house because I even avoid her. She lives like a mile down the road and she'll message me and want to make plans and I blow her off and whatever. Finally, one day, she came barging into my house and was like, Jenna, I miss you. What the hell's going on? Blah, 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 blah. You never want to leave the house. This isn't healthy for you. And she's like, I know you are who you are, but it's still not healthy and it makes me worried. Do you think you're premenopausal? I was like, I don't know. She's like, well, with your bipolar and premenopausal, you could really, you know, speak for yourself. I'm 29 forever, right? She's like, it could really mess with your imbalance. You already have a bipolar imbalance and then menopausal could even trigger it even more. I don't know though. I don't like to leave the house much. It's hard. It is hard. Even to go to the grocery store. It's hard. Um but I force myself sometimes to do it. I think and with this pandemic it's gotten even worse because it's okay to be in your house now. You guys get what I'm saying? Like now you're supposed to be in your house. And I'm scared to death that if this keeps going on, it's only going to make it worse for me. I even tried a journal. I started writing in a journal, writing out my feelings and stuff, and I was doing really well with it. I used to write every day. 'Cause at least I was getting it out and on paper instead of in my mind. But yet again, that's It's something I do. I start things and then I give up. And I have not picked up that diary, and I can't even tell you how long. Oh, Mojo, I'm so sorry it's hot. It's supposed to be in the 90s here on Monday with the humidity. It'll probably be like 110 today. I think weather has a lot to do with it too, because today it was so crappy. It didn't rain, but it was dreary and everything. And I know in the winter, I seem to be worse in the winter than I am in the summer. And they say a lot of it is like vitamin D, the sunshine and stuff. And you don't get that in the winter. I shouldn't moan you're hotter over there. It's so muggy. No, oh, who has sinus problems? I'm sorry, those are the worst. Sinus and toothaches are the worst. BTS, if you have chronic oh, it's BTS. I'm sorry, BTS. Oh, sinus pressure and toothaches are the worst. But I just want to say thank you guys. I mean, really, from the bottom of my heart. You guys don't know how good it felt to sit here and be able to talk, even though nobody's talking back, but you are talking back. By writing in the chat, you're talking back. And I'm really glad that I did it. I'm really glad that I did it because I wasn't going to. Like I said, I had it scheduled and I canceled it, and the truth was live, and I was good watching her, hoping that her, witty self that makes you laugh with her jokes and stuff could help me out of the funk. And then, what happened with her family, it broke my heart, and I want everybody to pray for her. And I was like, I want to go live so she knows that I'm thinking of her. And it's kind of funny how things work out, because here I am, and I'm glad I did it. That's okay, Jenna. You will do what you need to do when you're desperate enough, and you will keep trying because you know you have to. Exactly, CCK. What? You can't hear me? CCK, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you, Jenna, for speaking up. It's hard dealing with life adversities, but helps to know we're not alone. It really does, Moonchild. It really does. Because I was thinking today I was going to work on, because I have done all my cases that I wanted to do. I did the love triangle, I did the House of Horrors, and I did the 7-month-old. And now I am cased. I have no cases. And so I was going to do that today, where I looked up and saw if any cases, jumped out at me that I could research and be able to go live hopefully this weekend with a new case. And I didn't get to it. But now that I talked to you guys, you have no idea. Getting that out, I mean, I'm still in my funk, don't get me wrong, but I can feel it off my shoulders. Like there's a weight, just a little weight off my shoulders. So I really appreciate it. Remy, yeah. See, for me, that it does and doesn't for me. Like my husband says, he doesn't understand how. No matter what I'm watching, it's gotta be real life. It's gotta be a crime, other than Walking Dead. I think that's the only thing that I watch that isn't, true. I don't get into TV shows and stuff. He does. He watches all kinds of stuff, but I'm not one. If it ain't true crime or true anything, I'm not watching it. But other than Walking Dead. Absolutely, CCK. We had our neighbor's daughter, 19 and 20, killed by a 19-year-old abusive her boyfriend. Oh, that's horrible, Moonchild. Wow, that's sad. Yeah, a lot of people can't, Remy. A lot of people have a hard time with kids because it's so heartbreaking because they're innocent. I mean, everybody that gets killed or murdered is innocent, but something about a kid, they're really innocent. But I'm gonna jump off. I know that Jenny Jen's going live tonight. I don't know who else is. I know Diane was going to, but she canceled because she's going to the shore, the lucky girl. So I know she canceled. Um, but I'm gonna jump off and maybe go give my husband a hug. I know he's going to bed soon, and I want to be able to go cuddle him for a minute or two. He's got to work again tomorrow. So, but again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for listening to me. Um, it was a big step, but I'm glad I did it. And I'm glad to know that I'm not alone. Oh, you're welcome, Sarah. And just know, guys, even if I'm not live and you guys are going through what I'm going through and you guys need somebody to talk to, my email is in my about section. You can email me anytime, and I would love to chit chat with you and talk to you because you guys really helped me. So I know talking to somebody that can understand, it would be really helpful. But if you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't hit the likes or the dislikes, hit those. Um, everybody have a really good Friday night, and everybody have a great weekend. I'll probably go live this weekend. Hopefully I can come up with a case to discuss. But everybody, stay healthy, stay happy, and stay you. Have a good night, guys. Bye.